Hey everybody, this is Bacter, and unfortunately, when I recorded this last batch of footage, the microphone didn't take. So what you're seeing is I've taken a whole bunch of footage, edited it together, and this is me talking over it. We got a good setup, our drones as usual, and ship's got remote power and reroute power in it, and we're feeling real sassy about everything. So right now, I'm just kind of going around and looking for a few things. I've got to find the homunculus, which is the ship where Dr. J. Holmes is. I've got to scan a large A or B space station, and I've got to find some research outposts to search on. We got Proby, we got Stealth, we got Gather. We just really, at this point in time, it's a fight against entropy, where I need to collect a lot of scrap in order to fix everything that keeps breaking. Since we've already done the military stuff, I'm thinking pretty much the first time. Ooh, hello, new drone. I'm thinking pretty much the first time I can get my bad self into a non-military vessel. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Obviously, stealing, or excuse me, saving a new drone is the first thing. This one's just got a busted scan on it, although scan is nice. We already have a scan in reserve, so that's not as valuable as it might be. You can see that, like, all of my video is going bad, and the ship video is going bad, and the drone video, so the drones are running down. Interface already is nearly busted. Don't have enough scrap to fix it, so a new drone is very nice, and this is just, we're in sort of a race against time, trying to fix everything, keep everything together, etc. So, fortunately, this ship here has got interface in it, and with survey, 20 rooms, so a big thing. Yeah, if this is, I'm looking for the kind of ship that I can commandeer. As always, sneak remains incredible. There's a vent in here, so we're not feeling safe. There are, I think, question mark number of infestations in this particular ship. Maybe there's just one, actually. But either way, until I know what it is, I'm not hanging out in a room that's like that. You can also see that remote power is starting to break. I actually forget if that's the upgrade slot or the ship upgrade itself, but either way, that's even more expensive yet. That's a good 10 scrap in order to fix that sucker. Sneak remains incredible, and oh, look at that there. That's our infestation type for this ship, and it's a good one. That's just the drone. The drone that I'm perfectly able to fight with old Marvin here. Look at that. Popped open the door and just blew him right to pieces. No scrap off of him, but that's fine. Shield's still in good shape. Turret's still in good shape. Took a little bop on the shield, unfortunately, but that's not so bad. So, look at all these rooms that I found. It's just a massive, massive ship. And there's plenty to explore in it. Like I said, I already got a drone off of it, but now that I know that it's not really that bad, oh, look at those defense points and scrap galore. Yeah, I'm coming away from this one feeling really good about myself. This will keep us, going for a little bit. Meteor incoming, and it looks like a pretty decent chance to hit. Well, that does change my priorities somewhat. Unfortunately, when there's intership defenses like this, I like to go around a little bit with a little bit more stealth, usually, but we're going to have to move up our timetable, and it's a little bit later, and we're down to 1 minute before the collision, so okay, new shuffling of priorities. We're going to go ahead and dock at, down at A4, and probably rescue one of our drones down there at A2, so that will be good. Just get my bad self together and get out of here before anything really nasty happens. Let's get Aspot together, get him down to the docking location there, and yeah, we're going to, I think probably at this time, I'm going to try to dock. Yeah, defenses are all deactivated. Let's navigate drone 2 up into the ship, and going to, go to R10. We're going to get everybody as close to the outside as we can, again in preparation for that incoming meteor, if it even hits, which is not, guaranteed or whatever. So, alright. Oh, no! Oh, yes, indeed. Yep, all of those rooms just got absolutely plastered by that meteor. And there is Aspot. just absolutely obliterated, unfortunately. You can see the vacuum is starting to tear through the ship, and I wasn't able to close all the doors in time, so there's nothing for it. We gotta get out of here. We gotta go. Sorry. Sorry, Asbot. You are just pulled out into the cold suction of space. Fortunately, I got a bot to replace him, but boy, that's a huge setback. Yeah, things are not good following this situation here, so let's do a little jump cut to where I started it up again. I actually took a break there because so distraught was I over our loss that I felt the need to just pause for a minute and collect myself. Actually pause for about 2 days and collect myself. But okay, Asbot's gone forever. We got Matt, who's, fortunately only needs a few points of health in order to regain his bad self into here. And we're going to reset everybody. And actually, his name isn't going to be Matt, of course. His name is going to be something that we get from the sheet. So I'm going to try to pull that up at the same point in time as I'm doing this. And also, let's repair him. So not a lot of people are in great shape. We need to get as much scrap as we can. Unfortunately, when Asbot got sucked out, we lost all of his scrap too. So we've got this busted scan and a working scan, so let's scrap that one. I'd really like to get to an auto trader to not have to sell my probe for 1 scrap. I'd like to get the full 3 out of it. That would obviously by far be my preference. And look at that, all of my modules are like breaking at this point, not to mention the video problems I've still got with the existing drones. So, for gather, we can at least let Matt have gather and, repair him to like 10 or whatever, because that's all that we have, and we are completely empty on scrap at this point. So at least he can be good for something. He's going to be sort of our closest we can have to an exploration and gathering drone. Having one of those is obviously completely non-negotiable. So I think at this point I'm just trying to get out the old random the list of names and slap it in the random number generator there. And indeed I did. And so I'd like to introduce the newest member of our team, Baymax. Welcome, Baymax. We're not gonna claim that you're a replacement for Asbot, but at least do the best we can. So we got 3 busted modules. We got some busted video on these drones. Our ship is also falling apart. We are at 0 scrap right now, which is obviously, hilarious. So all that we can really do is start going to the scrap heaviest places we can find. So that's going to be barges. That's going to be, if there's any mining colonies, those tend to be good for those. Private ships sometimes can be good. Not as much like Muteki, although they can have drones on them, which are really nice. Not really as much military or whatever, but we got to get scrap if we're going to continue this. So I'm going to put sensor on Baymax, though that sort of dissipates faster than motion does. And the unfortunate thing is, sensor, you can't cloak them, and so if you put a sensor in a room, it continually monitors, and it does find goo, which is always nice. Goo doesn't show up on motion, but the downside is that they get attacked, and so you can always tell if an enemy's in a room with a sensor in it because the sensor gets attacked, but then you lose the sensor, so you might have to drop, however many you can. And look at that, a fresh new drone just for me. So things are going to be a little bit different now that I've lost my stealth and my motion, because that's really what I prefer. Also, everybody's kind of got a different number, so it takes me a little bit to get used to selecting that. At this point in time, Marvin is really more of our exploring drone, so sometimes if I have to open a door that I'm nervous about, we'll just have Marvin do it. I think also, I don't know if this is shown on camera or if this has already happened by this point, but remote power just broke. There's always just a chance of that happening, but I lost remote power. I've still got reroute power, which is, nice in its own way. But look at that. Tow and interface both have a chance of breaking, which is a bummer. Turret's got a chance of breaking. Life is bad, basically. So, Marvin, we're just going to do we're going to move you back up here. we're going to drop the sensor with Baymax. There we go. And going to see if anybody takes the bait, really. One thing I need to get better at, and that hopefully I'll get better at as we go through a little bit, is... Oop, look at that. Sensor was tripped. And, unfortunately, as I mentioned, it gets attacked and killed. I need to move the sensors back towards the far end of the room from whatever door I'm opening, just to make sure that any enemy actually gets in there. Look at that, video signal for drone 1 is just lost. So unfortunately, because I didn't do that correctly, I'm now not exactly sure if the enemy is in R4 or R5. If I had been able to close the door at the same time the sensor was getting attacked, then I would know exactly where it was. But as things stand, I'm just going to have to try to face tank it with Marvin, who doesn't even have infinite ammo on his turret there. Note. I also should have activated the shield before I turned that on, but look at that. He's taking it in the teeth. I think he's maybe angled a little bit wrong here, because look, he isn't activating his turret. So I need to turn around a little bit and then activate it again. And he took it down. Fortunately, that was only one of the bots. If that had been a swarm, I think that would have been the end of Marvin and therefore my team as a whole. So angling is going to be very important. And so is a lot of things. Angling is going to be important, and just preservation, basically. So now that we've got that, at least we got a little bit of scrap out of it, so Baymax can pick up those. I like the name Baymax, and we're pretty sure that there was only one enemy per room. At least I hope so. There's a lot of fatalism, I feel like, at this stage of the game, where I'm like, okay, I'm not 100% sure that this is going to work, but, if it doesn't, then I'll just die and restart. That's kind of where I feel like I am. It's important to note about restart that the names and positions of a lot of the things you're looking for are randomized, so I'm looking for a number of galaxy gates that are for the military objective, for the Super Predator objective, and those will be re-randomized if I restart. Same with the vessel for Dr. Holmes. None of that is going to be the same. So really, the only thing there is to this is a little bit like Motion in that it's a little bit more waiting than we're necessarily used to. I'd love to lead with Marvin, but his video is failing. It's a little insecure. Goodness knows why I would have deactivated my shield. You notice it took quite a punching there, and I want to restore the shield, but it did keep me alive. I mean, I would be absolutely dead without it. Every module that I have is key for this. So look at this. We got Proby back, ladies and gentlemen. That is awesome. So let's get in here, collect this scrap, and save this drone. We've also got an interface to deal with, and those can potentially be really life-changing if we can find ourselves a defense point with them. You can see here again, I kind of had sort of memorized which drones corresponded to which numbers, whether it was my power, my gather, and that's a little bit off. Alright, let's survey. Let's see what else we got. Not too much else in this ship. Yep. Time to save this drone. Oh, that's bad. Oh, thank goodness for the shield yet again. Because Marvin has not a lot of health, and that might have been enough contact with Slime in order to just do him in. So, yeah, this could be better. I don't even know if I have enough bullets in the turret left at this point to take them all on. My guess is that I do not. Look at that. Eating through the shield even more. Yeah, I don't. Okay, well, I've already saved the drone from this ship, and, if this was any other situation, I would just pack up and leave right now. The only difference is, I really need all the scrap I can possibly get, so I might kind of take this show on the road. I might come back. You can notice up there in my ship upgrade slot, remote power just broke on its own, but the ship upgrade slot is also breaking, so I'll need to spend money. Well, I would have needed to spend money repairing remote power, but it broke, so no worries as far as that goes. But I would also, that's also money to repair the ship upgrade slot, which is, of course, a headache, as everything is at this point. Things are bad in the Duskers Galaxy, ladies and gentlemen. So let's Yep. There's me realizing that I didn't have remote power installed because the thing just broke. Let me put Marvin up front. Why not? We'll get him up there. His shield's on, and he can still take a bit of a beating. Boy, that shield is much better than I normally gave it credit for. So let's park our bad selves over here at A3. Shields on, turrets on, and maybe 13 bullets could kill a bot. I'm not entirely sure. So we'll just sit here and hope. No one's coming out to punch me. I'm not seeing any bullets flying in towards me. I think if a swarm flew in here, then that would probably be the end of things. But either way, that's nice. I will certainly accept nobody coming in to kill me. I kind of wish I could find something in here, but yeah, the grating does make me a little nervous, but, you know, no swarms, so... Unfortunately, simply not dying, which used to be my criterion for success, kind of isn't cutting it anymore. I need to do more than just not die. I need to succeed. I need to get wealthy, you know? Okay. Yeah, nothing in here. So let's power up and try to explore a little bit. And this is about the point where I realize that in addition to everything else that I have, I've also got a few other tools which will help explore. This is also where I realized that Baymax isn't my power drone. I've got to get tension sheet out there for that. But yeah, I've got Proby, so I don't actually need to explore everything myself, which is very nice. Proby, as you may recall, visits every room and scans it. I have not stealthed Proby, although that is certainly something that I'm able to do. And I think when I can scrape together the scrap for it, I'm probably going to want to stealth Proby, just because I like the idea that he can sort of pass through the ship invulnerably, and boy does that really make it easier to know where you want to travel and what you want to get to. So, look at that upgrade slot, and look at that hidden piece of scrap in there. I think that's hidden. Maybe not. Maybe that's just an obvious piece of scrap. But, yeah, now that I know that I'm interested in going there, let's get our bad selves up. Want to get the Tobot in there. Be ready to run away. Again, because Proby hadn't been attacked, I was assuming that there was nobody in there. And unfortunately, this is a permanently installed module. It's one of those ones where, you know, firmly installed, it looks like you can maybe tow it, but you can't. It's a bummer. But there's only, there's like one piece of scrap in there anyway, that I can at least get that, send in Baymax and collect it. Also, let's close D7 and let's send Proby into the last big room down there. That will only leave one unexplored room, which is R9, and it might have something incredible in it, or it might have death, and I'm not interested in that. But hey, look at that! We got our fuel tank. That is what we like to see. So, again, any swarms or leapers or drones would be attacking Proby. So we can safely say that it's safe for us to at least peek our heads in the room. We don't know that the room is totally safe, because Proby doesn't care about slime, and oh, yes indeed, there's the slime, and wow, that is just an awful lot of it. So it's not open to the outside. I can't vent the stuff into space, so a little bit of a bummer there, unfortunately, but I am going to have to book it. Baymax is going to pick up Proby, and off we are gonna head. There we go. Alright, let's get out of here. And I'm going to be cutting out a couple other vessels. We sort of travel around doing this, scraping together a few points of scrap each time. Not a lot of things that were super, I don't know, heartening. You can look and see all those mining outposts there. I'm just kind of nervous to be traveling around them right now because I don't have a great way to deal with them. And look what we have down here, the homunculus. That's right, we're in the right galaxy to finish out the quest line for the pandemic. And I was trying to figure out, scrap and whether or not I could get fuel and if I could go to more than one ship in this galaxy. And I decided eventually, while I could have tried to go down there and get the transporters, I'm very wounded. I'm not in a good shape, and I'm in the same galaxy as one of the goals, and so I'll probably just gonna hit the auto trader and then head to the homunculus. So let's see what we got here. And right away you can see that this thing has 5 scrap in it, which really could be better. That stinks. It's got probe and scan, and its probie is in better shape than mine. Mine's at 9% chance of breaking. This one's at 5. So I'll sell that and get back a probie there. And then as well, you can see that turret sells for the full 3 rather than the 1 I would have got just by scrapping it. And I would love to sell remote power, which is Busto here, but look, Auto Trader was so poor it only had 5 scrap that it actually can't afford anything else. So I can't sell anything, and I don't want to buy anything. I mean, really, I got a more upgraded probe, and I was able to sell one of my busted modules, so that was nothing, I suppose, but not really encouraging, nothing really special there, so bit of a bummer. Either way, though, I was able to get to the homunculus, so that is another quest line down. This is the last thing to do for Pandemic, is just to get to the homunculus, and we'll get the final log when we get here. So I'll be posting that in the thread as well. And actually, if you had very quick eyes, let me add 2 probes there. If you had quick eyes, you might have actually seen that we got a copy of the final log before we actually made it to the homunculus. And I'm not sure if that's a bug, that wasn't supposed to happen, or if this wasn't something that could just happen beforehand. Either way, the homunculus is a private yacht, presumably owned by Dr. J. Holmes. And, yeah, we could have not found this, but, this is what you're supposed to do to finish the quest line. Probie's going to be around doing its thing, and of course we have question mark infestation types in here. Now, the fact that there are infestation types in the vessel, I don't necessarily think means that J. Holmes is dead. I guess he could be in cryo, or he could be sealed off in, the command deck of it somewhere, although I will note you do have to eliminate all infestation types from a ship before you can commandeer it, so, that's could be better. Okay, we got defenses going in here. We're going to activate them, and they're in one of these rooms, so one of the first procedures is to open up all doors leading to either of the 2 rooms. It could be an R4 or R5, that's all we know for now. Give it a minute, see if anybody takes the bait, as Probie just goes nuts going from room to room. Quite fond of Probie. I like his little smiley face zipping around. Okay, no one seems to be taking the bait either way. Also, you may notice the turret is gone. It also broke before I could repair it. These are just the breaks. I really needed to prioritize, and somewhere in the meantime, shield got to yellow as well. Okay, there is some slime. And so on a question mark infestation type vessel, slime could be the only type of infestation that we have, or it could be one of several, as indeed you do find sometimes. So let's see if we can't gather any fuel, and no fuel, which is a bit of a bummer. But now there's, I don't think necessarily anything quite that exciting in this room down here. So let's send Marvin out. Looks like we can't nudge our way past these crates. Crates like that, as you've probably already seen, are pretty much immovable. Let's send Probie down in there, see if he can't locate anything. And look at that, a hidden piece of scrap. Again, that piece of scrap pretty much pays for Probie and one of Probie's brothers, so every one of those we can send out, the better. Yeah, we got the scrap. That slime is about to overgrow and take over everything. So let's open up the door and let Probie come back in. Aw, oh, come on. Lost my video signal. Always freaks me out whenever that happens. So I think what I'm going to want to do is... Someone in the thread said, and I forget if that was the door I wanted to open. Yeah, okay. I guess I just got my shield on up there, so I'll just hope everything goes. Oh, right. Because I know that the defenses are in R5 at this point. Because they weren't in R4, so that sort of narrows the list of candidates down. Okay, now that Proby's back, let me lock him in here and send him up into R5, making sure and deactivating the defenses beforehand so he doesn't explode himself. Again, Proby will be attacked by any roaming monsters unless they're slimes. And the turrets will destroy slimes, so that's nice. Okay, we got our next power point, I guess if you want to call it that, up there. And just another piece of scrap. Every one of those we can get is another advantage, another good thing to have. Okay, there we go. Let's get our bad selves out of here. You may notice that I have one of my upgrade slots is fixed now. I did not spend 10 scrap fixing the military vessel we had. I have commandeered a barge that was only crewed by those drones, by the machine gun drones. So that's the ship now. Its video signal is in good shape. It had 2 upgrade slots. Being a barge, it held an absolute ton of scrap. So I think my max scrap is now like 143 or something crazy like that. So let's move ourselves around. Baymax is going to power back up here. Actually, Baymax isn't the power. I think Baymax is just heading out in order to get Proby. Guess I didn't quite do that right. There we go. Still close enough to get Proby. Alright. Yeah. Looking at it now, I'm actually not sure why I didn't try to go through D11 and D12. Maybe I forgot that those could also have been places in the ship. Either way, there's nothing there. I've been to Dr. Holmes' ship before, and I'll tell you there's nothing special on it. It's just there to give you that special log, which we got, and I'll be posting in the thread. Yeah, so now it's time to start exploring different places. We got outposts everywhere, medical and research. That's what we're looking for. So that'll be for our next objective for a cosmic event as well. This apparently is the mining and research center of the galaxy. And we got a bunch of space stations and fuel depots, so this will be a great place to get that. Ooh, and look, a Space Station B. If you recall, one of our objectives is to scan every room in a space station class A or B, and look at that, we landed right on top of it. So, for the last thing in this video, let's see if we can't get a twofer. Let's see if we can't knock out scanning a Class A or a Class B space station and have found the homunculus. That will leave us with really only 2 things left, so let's get reroute power on. Get everybody all loaded up with whatever they can. We got 7 scrap in here. And I don't need ship surveyor, do I? So let me just convert that sucker into scrap. And see who needs repairs. Nobody for right now, so that should be fine. Once again, just making sure, yep, scan all rooms in a Class A or B space station. And going into this level, I actually wasn't sure if Proby would count, which is why I equipped scan on one of my drones, or at least I'm about to equip scan here. Yeah, let's put that on Leica. I know Proby does do something which is very much like scan, if it doesn't actually count as scanning, but still, you know, it's as well to be sure. So here we are, a Class B space station with question mark infestation types, as is pretty much our standard. Let's roll. And I'm going to drop Proby down, and basically what's going to happen is I'm going to try to scan all the rooms in the space station with him, and then at the end, if it doesn't tell me that I completed the objective, then I'm just going to be sad, I guess. I'm going to, you know that I have to go back and do it with a scan. So, we're going to start using our sensors, as well as Proby, and we've got a couple backup Probies in case Proby bites it. which we hope he doesn't. We're also going to try to keep him safe a bit. And, again, reroute is just so nice because I can start working on those rooms up here. I can open these doors and just see if anybody nasty comes out of them. Give it a minute. You're never quite sure with these things because you do want to be moving through the space stations quickly. I mean, not only can meteors hit you every so once in a while, as, you know, we saw to our bitter chagrin early on, you can also get the growth of slime. You can just get a bunch of nasty stuff. And, oh, lost video signal for Baymax. That's a bummer. I'll need to repair that, but again, that's one of the things I don't have a lot of scrap for, so that's fine. Okay, next power outlet is in there. Class B stations aren't always the biggest, so now I can let Proby down here, or I could not get Proby killed, you know, because again, I don't know who's in that room, and so what I should really do, there we go, got my signal back. What I should really do is probably drop a scanner in there, so that I make sure and catch any enemies. Again, you have to spend, you know, X number of scanners per room, where X minus 1 is the number of enemies that come in there. So, let's get our bad selves out, reroute that power. You really, anytime you get remote power or reroute power, you just gotta have them on your ship and be using them constantly. I really like... you really have a different feel for all of the different exploratory modules that you can have. And so where with stealth, you're kind of just this drone commando unit, you know, moving unseen through the ship and trying to sneak your way around whatever threats are there. And with motion, you're basically a mobile information center, you know, where you can know about a lot of rooms around you, and you can sort of keep yourselves out of harm's way, but you also have to deal with information uncertainty because it's never exactly sure, you know, which rooms are going to open and which rooms are going to show and which rooms are going to not. With Scanner, you kind of get this expanding bubble of knowledge about the ship, where you start to know more and more what's going on, and you know, your knowledge of where enemies are really expands too. So okay, let's open up D19, see if anybody comes in there. Again, we're dealing with question mark infestation types, so there's really just no telling how many that is. And not seeing anybody, so that's good. Always does make me a little nervous when we go this long without encountering any enemies, because, you know, where are they is a valid question. Hey, look at that. I'll take a replacement bot, yes I will. So let's get Laika in there pretty much ASAP. The tow and interface drone, again, you know, you want to hold in reserve. And I know different people have, okay, we got pry and trap, that's fine. Different people have different setups that they like to do, but I do like to have one drone which is really just for non-combat, non-exploration. You know, is only for when we've isolated a room and made it safe. And so if there's something to interface with, or if there's something to tow away, that's what they're there for. You know how I do. I got a generator that stays in place. I got a exploration, and I got a combat. And then like an other. The only thing I will say about bringing drones on missions, like the only bummer with bringing them all the time, is I think they degrade more slowly if you don't bring them on missions. So it can actually be kind of nice to have like one extra, because really I could sort of combine two of these drones. I'm carrying more modules than I think 3 drones could handle. Oh, there we go. Sensor is triggered. So let's wait for it to get attacked. There, okay. I guess whatever was in there didn't want to attack it. It's kind of a bummer that D9 is denied to us now. But I don't actually know what that was. It could have been one of the slower ones. It could have been one of the leapers or something. Although I think they also attack the drones. It probably wasn't a swarm, because I think a swarm would have pounced way before this. So I'm betting not one of those. Anyway, we're just going to keep dropping down sensors. So we're going to want to get to that next power station here. And again, having sensors is also nice because any slime is going to get detected ASAP. So let's power this up here. And it would be really nice if D9 hadn't brew... Uh-oh, that's bad. Because there wasn't any... Yep, vents in here. That means this is a slime ship, which means the longer we spend... And again, unfortunately, if I had one of those remote mines, I could detonate it. But unfortunately, I've just got the prox mines, and those don't work super well against slime. So, oops, moved Baymax into the thing just 1 second too long. All it took was one hit, and Baymax is down for the count. Now, what's fortunate is that Baymax is down for the count, but not disabled. Didn't turn gray, just turned yellow. So hopefully, if I'm a little quick about this, I'll be able to rescue Baymax. So let me get Marvin and Tension Sheet out of the way. I'm going to manually handle this because any contact... I mean, Laika's got some health, but, you know, not infinite. So there we go. There's that rescue. And oh my goodness, door D20 is being attacked, and I hear a swarm. That's my way of saying that this this station stinks. I'm going to drop a prox mine, and I'm going to get everybody out of here, and I'm going to close the doors. I'm going to close D13 and D19, and hopefully get Proby out of there too, and use that mine to kill that swarm. Now, unfortunately, if there's any vents in here at all, that means, you know, more will be coming. But look at that, we got a defensive turret down there in R7, so that's cool. If we can get Laika to an interface, you know, we can deal with that. Oh, and sure enough, there's a vent down in R7, so that's something else to be worried about. Reroute lets me completely close off that door, but there's nothing to do for now except wait for the swarm to break through the door there at D20 and set off the prox mine when it does. There we go. Door is opened, and generator was damaged but not destroyed. And I think that means that the mine went off. And so I guess, weirdly enough, I guess the mine didn't destroy the rest of the slime in that room because the sensor is still going wild up there. I really would have thought that that mine would have also destroyed that slime, which would have been nice. You can see I'm making just crazy extensive use of the rerouting in there. Yeah, sure enough, the swarm's dead, but the slime keeps on spreading. And oh, the slime. Yeah, it's chewing through my shield faster than I can deal with it. I gotta get out of here. How am I gonna scan? What am I gonna do about this space station? Yeah, I can't get through there either. You really don't have a lot of tight maneuvering room in this game. So fine adjustments like that are pretty much beyond you. Okay, it's obvious to me at this point that I've really only got one shot at this. There's only one way that it's going to work to scan this, and that is... I could do maybe a little delicate maneuver here. Nope, I don't think so. If I can, like, snake around here, hook up to the power, yep, and we'll just do Sesame, which opens up every door. I'm just maybe going to barely get out of here with my life. Fortunately, the slime doesn't attack Proby. I want to get out of here and shut these doors before any other swarms spawn and find me and destroy me. So let's close off D14. The nice thing is Proby can move unaffected by the slime, and so just if I can like open every door, then Proby can go into every one of those. And if Proby counts as a scan, then that will be scanning every room in the space station. But if Proby doesn't, then I'm absolutely stuck. So what I gotta hope is that there will be some way up here. And actually, I by chance found Pry on Noah there. I gotta hope that I am going to be able to clear a path and find, you know, enough open doors that I can... Oh, shoot. And this room isn't powered. A3 is absolutely not powered. And, you know, I got that slime there. I can pry open D12, but that only goes somewhere I already go, and D12 is already full of slime. It's completely covered the room. There's nothing for it. I'm weighing my options. I'm trying to figure out what the heck I can do. But fortunately, though, A4 here, this exit is powered, A3 isn't, which is a bummer. But if I can get my bad self down here, close this off, open up D21, then, yeah, I think I'm going to lose that sensor because it doesn't have a magnetic clamp on it, but that's fine. That's blown out into space. I'll wait for the vacuum to go up into R6, and there it went, so close off that. Fortunately, well, I guess it wouldn't matter if the doors broke because I'm just using pry at this point anyway. There is no power up here, and there's no way to get to the power, so if I hadn't by chance found pry, I would be stuck right now. Yeah, let me drop a prox mine so I can run away if I happen to, encounter a swarm. Hopefully, my shield will let me survive it for long enough for it to run into the prox mine. So I'm just getting my bad self out of here, and we'll close off that door. And oh, there's only one room left. And Proby does it! I have scanned every room in a Class A or B space station, ladies and gentlemen. Out of flippin' nowhere did I manage to pull that one off. Unfortunately, my collector bot Baymax is disabled, so I'm not going to be going up into R10 and collecting that remaining scrap, but I almost don't care at this point. I am absolutely, though, going to swap out for Probe so I can pick up Proby, who is the MVP of this video. That's really... I could not believe that I pulled that off. That was a fantastic, if somewhat fraud, shall we say, run. And I got an extra drone out of it that I can sell for some money, too. So that is 2 of our objectives completed. And again, just in the most unlikely of situations. So there we go. We're going to sell Noah right away. And it only takes 1 scrap to get Baymax up and working again. Because, and I'll give him 3, for 30 health or whatever. These are the disadvantages of operating at low scrap, as I am. And look at that, I'm back up to 21 scrap at this point. So, let me get some mines back for myself. I might look into repairing some ship upgrade slots, some video monitors. But at this point, it's more exploration. I am around a lot of outposts, so I'll be able to tackle those, and then start looking for those waypoints. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the Cinderella story that I've experienced so far. We got mining outposts for scrap. We got stargates to check out. We completed 2 objectives this time. This was successful beyond my wildest imaginings. I thought I'd be dead now for sure. So that's Duskers for you. Bloody-minded persistence really can pay off in the end. I appreciate you watching, and I will catch you next time when hopefully we continue to dusk. See you next time, everybody.